welcome back to the channel. I'm Megan Yvonne. If you're new, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the family. So today's video is going to be all about makeup sanitation practices. Okay, as a makeup artist, as someone who loves wearing makeup herself, it's so important to be thoughtful and to be mindful of how you maintain your makeup, how you sanitize your makeup, just so that you don't have adverse results when it comes to your skin. I see so many makeup artists on TikTok and on Instagram and on Facebook and just on social media in general that aren't really following makeup hygiene practices. So I wanted to make a video, and I figured if you wear makeup, even if you're not a makeup artist, you should know these things, and I just want to share them with you. So let's get into the video. One of the first things that you should know if you're wearing makeup, or if you're a makeup artist, or if you're getting your makeup done by a makeup artist, you should make sure that they cleanse their hands. It is so important that they start with clean hands, okay? You don't want them, coming in from anywhere or working on someone else's face and then going to your face. You want to make sure that they start with clean hands. That is so important because washing your hands can make the difference between getting sick and not getting sick, right? As we know, we've just come out of, the panorama, the pandemic. Well, not really come out of it, but with the onset of the pandemic, we learned how vital it was to just be mindful of your hand washing practices, doing that regularly, just so that's so important. So making sure that either before you apply your makeup, you wash your hands, or the artist that is doing your makeup, they have that. You want to ensure is that you're using clean brushes, okay? I personally am not a fan of the makeup brush belts because, and I know some girls are gonna eat me up for this comment, but I just don't feel like they're all that sanitary. Because if you are walking around with them and you might bump up to something and then they're not clean anymore. I prefer to, when I'm doing makeup on clients, I prefer to have my brushes in a container, and then I separate them out. And then, if I'm doing makeup on myself, now admittedly, I could do a better job of washing my makeup brushes more often. Eventually, I want to be that girly that washes her makeup brushes after every use, but sometimes, I'm not there. But clean brushes, that's so important. That is such a vital part to any makeup application. And if you use makeup often, you know that, clean brushes apply your makeup way better. So you want to make sure that the artist that you are contracting is using clean brushes, and you are using clean brushes on yourself as well. What I say is, at least try not to go beyond a week, but make sure your brushes are clean. The next thing that I want to tell you is to note your expiration dates. I know a lot of you, and I'll pop some pictures up on the screen, you're probably like, well, what is that? What is that? Makeup expires. Yes, it does. And if you are new to the makeup community, or you just didn't know that makeup does expire, so it's important to note your expiration dates, know when you bought the product, so that okay, now it's time for me to switch this out. It's time for me to chuck it in the trash. It's time for me to just throw it away. A good rule of thumb is for mascara. Mascara can last you anywhere between 3 to 6 months. It should have this little, and I'll put the decal up on the screen. It should have that on there as well. But keep in mind, some people like to change theirs out every season. But yeah, you want to make sure. Fun little story time. I was in Ulta, and this little girl, she had to have been no more than 7 or 8. And her mom was buying her some makeup, and she said, I have to get new mascara because I wore it and I used old mascara and I got pink eye. And her mom was like, yeah, I told her not to wear it, to throw it away, but she insisted. and she wore it anyway, and she ended up with an eye infection. So we don't want you to have any of that grossness going on. So make sure that you are noting your expiration dates, you are checking your makeup regularly, and that you're noting when you purchase stuff. If you're not someone who wears makeup like more on a regular basis, like I don't wear it weekly, that's even more important for you to check your expiration dates, because you're not going through the product as fast as someone who wears their makeup either every day or a couple of times a week. You're not going through the product as quickly. So making sure that you note your expiration dates and you adhere to them, so that you don't get any like nasty little infections or nastiness on your face, on your skin, in your eyes. The next thing that I want to tell you is to avoid sharing makeup. Yes. Even at this big age, you think, oh, well, like, who's sharing makeup anymore? Before, it may have been a thing where you were in school, you weren't really supposed to be wearing makeup, and it's like, oh, I got this lipstick. Do you want to try it? Do you want to try it? It is totally a bad idea, okay? It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea because you are mixing your natural germs that are on your body, and then someone else is using it, they're mixing their germs, and you got a whole little germ party up in there. So just avoid sharing makeup, just from the start, because you want to ensure that you're staying safe. And again, we don't want you to get sick. We don't want you to get any kind of those nasty infections that you can't get rid of. So avoid sharing makeup. Next thing that I want to talk to you about is to disinfect your makeup. Yes, you need to disinfect your makeup. As a makeup artist, I do disinfect my eyeshadow palettes. I disinfect everything, right? But most people might think like, oh, your eyeshadow, your blushes, things that you can't necessarily put in soap and water, they still need to be disinfected. You need to clean your brushes. You need to use disposables where you can. And that's so important. And that's the difference between hiring a professional makeup artist versus hiring someone that just does makeup, because they know the importance of sanitation. They know that it's important to keep you safe as well as to keep themselves safe. Also, it's important to use a makeup palette where you can. So if you are applying like a lipstick, and say it has an applicator wand, and maybe you don't have the disposable wands, but you're going to dip in with the wand, wipe it on the palette after you disinfected the palette. I use a metal palette when I'm doing makeup. In between applying new products, if I've had foundations or whatever on that palette, I'm going to sanitize that. I'm going to disinfect it before I put anything on that palette again. That is so important. And again, that makes the difference between hiring someone who knows and someone who doesn't. Again, with the sharing makeup, I was watching a TikTok. If you're new here and you don't follow me on TikTok, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I'll leave the little screenshot above. But I came across this artist, and she was talking about, she was doing makeup for this bridal party, and that wasn't even what the video was about, but she was talking about her timing, and I think she had like 7 people or something like that. But anyway, that wasn't what the video was about. And she was talking about the fact that, she was feeling rushed and blah, 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 blah. So some people were giving her tips on that. And then someone noted like, hey, like you used that on someone else, but you didn't, like you cross-contaminated, right? She had dipped in and used a concealer straight out of the concealer case or tube, and used it on someone. Then she went and used it on someone else, and her response was, well, they're family. I don't care if they're family or not. You still want to adhere to those practices of using good hygiene practices, making sure that you sanitize in between each step. Yes, it's important to take care of yourself. It's important to take care of your clients. It's important to clean your makeup, clean your brushes, and be in the know when it comes to hygiene practices and things that you can do to minimize risk and stuff when it comes to makeup and things like that. I remember when I was really getting into makeup and going to the makeup counter, and they're just testing things on you. That's a thing, and I am very, hold up, wait a minute, let's take a pause, because sometimes when you go, they're like, hey, let me try this on you. And I'm like, wait a minute, like I'd rather test it on myself. I can kind of figure out what I need. I don't really like just anybody playing on my face. So it's important to me that I know, and that, you know, I know that the materials are clean. So yes, comment down below. Let's chat in the comments about any other tips that you have come across, anything that you do to keep your makeup and you safe during your makeup application process. If you are a makeup artist, I would love to chat with you as well. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you a part of the Making Yvonne TV family. My videos go live on Tuesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So go ahead and hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and, you know, let me know that you are locked in. Comment down below, I'm locked in, I've subscribed. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah! Bye.